Hi everyone, my name is Olga and I'm a tour guide from marvelous.kyiv in invincible Ukraine. But I'm also one of the millions of Ukrainian refugees who have found safe place in the heart of Europe. Together, Ukrainians all over the world are a part of this awful war story, a story of resilience, a story of hope, a story of the nation that refuses to be broken. Imagine for a moment the staggering number, 6 million people. This is the number of Ukrainian refugees in Europe today. 6 million people who are seeking shelter, opportunities, and the chance to rebuild their lives from the beginning. And Europe is opening its arms and it's making it easier for us to find the new home. And sometimes, probably some of us will call these countries their own home. And what makes us, Ukrainian refugees, so attractive to Europe? Is it our charm or culinary skills? Because let's face it, the Ukrainian food is incredible and borscht is a delicious superfood. I'm sure that it's more than that. And in this video, I would like to tell you why some European countries want us to stay, and will we return to Ukraine or not? Let me explain to you our status in Europe. So when Ukrainians are fleeing war, we are granted temporary protection in the European countries. According to this temporary protection directive, we have the rights to work, to residence, to healthcare, education, and I'd like to highlight here the word right. It means that it is not free. It means that we still have to pay for rent, for our health insurance and other expenses. Luckily, some countries provided financial support for us, and this status is prolonged to 2025, which unfortunately indicates that this war might be long. And these conditions of benefits, they vary from country to country, because some countries are more generous. They provide sometimes free health insurance, give monthly financial support, and sometimes even provide free accommodation for some period of time. But it's just happening for the first period of time, and then we have to work and live as other residents in these countries. And sometimes this could be very difficult for the single moms because you don't have the support of your relatives, you don't have your home place, so you don't know the language, and we didn't choose this immigration. It's important to know that the vast majority of the refugees are women with kids, and these single moms, they have to provide for their accommodation and food while men stay in Ukraine. And it's not that simple to be a single mom in your own country, in your home country, when you own the apartment where you live, when you have the relatives to support you, when you have your husband. And it's incredibly difficult in the new country without the language skills and without the all your support that you used to have at home. Luckily, sometimes for vulnerable kind of people, for women with kids under 6 years of age, the countries provide more help. And already European Union allocated 10 billion euros for these countries who host us. And it means that hosting countries get the support to cover their expenses for the housing and for this monthly financial support that we get. It means that this money will go directly to the economy of these European countries, because we spend everything that we get, plus even our own savings from Ukraine. For example, if I get money for rent and for food, I pay it to my landlord and I go to the local supermarket. But I'm talking not about like huge sums of money, because the average financial support in Europe is 100 to 200 euros. Germany is generous. Germany provides more than 400 euros per month. So let's talk numbers for a moment. During the early active phase of war, about 8 million Ukrainians left their homes. Some people have already returned back to Ukraine, but a significant number of 6 million Ukrainians are still in Europe. And why are these numbers so crucial? Because these numbers represent people, not just statistics. To rebuild Ukraine in future, money alone is not enough. Money is a tool, it's a resource for creating jobs. But the real value, the true heartbeat of a nation, it's people. And according to the Ukrainian Ministry of Economy, we need at least 5 million workers for a proper recovery in future. And people create the actual added value. People shape the future, they are lifeblood of a nation. And European countries, which use high technologies, know about this very well. They also need young people. Don't forget that Ukraine is not just about the agriculture. It's not just the breadbasket of Europe, but our IT specialists are among the best in Europe, and our IT sphere was developing very well before the war. And Europe, in fact, is quite interested in young families because demographics are shifting. And they're also facing aging population. People who were born in 50s and 60s, they are retiring. There is no one to replace them. Birth rates are declining, and their economies are really hungry for workers. So they really need fresh, skilled hands and these young workers to fuel their industries and enterprises. And this is where we come in. This is where our journey intersects with their needs. European countries are making it easier for us to become the citizens, to build the lives on the new lands. But it's just right for those who are working here, because it seems like a win-win scenario for both sides. They gain skilled workers, we find a place to call home, and the doors of opportunity swing open for us, and we just have to make a step through the doors. Germany, for example, reduced the required period of stay for us to acquire the citizenship. So they are cutting it from 8 years to 5 years. And it's just like fast tracking your relationship status from it's complicated to happily ever after. It's a signal that they want us, not just a few of ours, but many of ours, to be a part of their society, to contribute and to build future together. And it's not just Germany, because other countries also follow this pattern. We have the right to work here according to the temporary protection. And this is the reason why many countries reduce the amount of financial support, and they want to stimulate us to work. For example, here in Czech Republic, the situation has changed, and only vulnerable categories like pensioners and like women with kids under 6 years of age, they can have this monthly support of 150 euros, which is not a huge sum of money for the European capital. So they don't see us as refugees, but they see us as valuable human resources. Our hands are ready to work, our minds are ready to innovate, and our energy is ready to fuel their dreams. And Europe understands the worth of our labor, our intellect, and our spirit. There is even another reason why we are so appealing to our European friends, because we are Europeans, and it's much easier to integrate. It's much easier for us to integrate. We attend integration courses and language courses, so we graduate from them, and we ensure that we will become in future the productive members of our adopted countries. And first and foremost, we are quick to integrate in the societies where we find ourselves. We adapt very swiftly to the conditions and the new languages. And let's draw, for example, a comparison. Picture a Ukrainian refugee and a refugee from the Middle East or Africa. Those refugees might create their separate communities with the specific religions, with their languages, but Ukrainians are not doing that. We are seamlessly blend into the new surroundings. We are like the missing puzzle that fits effortlessly into the European mosaic. To tell you the truth, it's not always that easy for us to find the highly skilled or official job immediately when we arrived. And for instance, The young woman agrees to start by cleaning officers to support herself and her children. But she's dreaming about brighter future. She knows that probably it's just the initial step in the path towards something better. And we all want safe and secure life, and that motivates us. However, not all of the Ukrainians want to begin with this unqualified labor and this kind of to start from the bottom. Especially lawyers, doctors, managers, successful office workers, they make the decision to come back to unsafety, come back to Ukraine. Because the rents, the insurance, the food is expensive in Europe. And now I'm speaking just about the people who have homes. Those people whose houses are ruined because of the Russian war, they have to start their lives from the scratch here. And what are the reasons why Ukrainians are so attractive? It's not just about the human compassion, the desire to help. It's just about the economics too, because European countries are synonymous with high salaries. But these high salaries, they don't come from the thin air. It's a result of high-tech production. And this creates high added value. Unfortunately, Ukraine as a country lacks the same level of high-tech production. Many of our plants and enterprises have been ruined and crumbled because they were bombed, and this leads to the lower wages. Our income levels will remain low as long as we rely on the raw material exports. I am sure that this will change after the war, but currently it's so. So it's not just about our desire to find better life in Europe. Europe benefits from our presence and our willingness to contribute to. It's a mutual relationship. And our journey is just beginning. It's far from over because of war. But there is one thing that we have in our heart. We have the dreams of rebuilding our homeland, and this dream will drive many of us back home to Ukraine. We are not just refugees, we are ambassadors of hope and change to the world, because we don't let evil penetrate into Europe, and Europe is helping us. We are Ukrainians, and our heart will forever beat with the rhythm of our homeland. But also we embrace the possibilities that lie before us, the opportunities that can enrich our lives and the lives of our hosts in Europe. Just imagine that we will come home and we will bring new languages, new skills, and these challenges that we have to overcome, they will make us stronger. I'm endlessly thankful to all the countries and families who are accepting us. We will never forget this. It's a very challenging journey, and we are not just refugees. We are the hope for the better European future without tyranny. And together we are building bridges, not walls. We are writing the story of unity, the story of resilience, the story of peaceful future for all European countries. Because Ukraine is Europe. Ukraine is Europe. Thank you for buying me coffees. Thank you for supporting me. Your kind gestures warm my heart and inspire me to keep going. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and join our wonderful community on my weekly live streams here on YouTube. You can also find me on other social media platforms, and all the links are in the descriptions. Побачимося у Києві. See you in Kyiv. Слава Україні!